This is Makhdoom Shahabuddin and you're watching Trending Daily. Here we don't follow noise. We decode narratives. We don't amplify propaganda. We break it down. And tonight's episode is about truth, misinformation, and how dangerous lies travel faster than facts in today's media-driven world. What happened after the Bondi Beach terror attack in Sydney was not just a test for law enforcement or security agencies. It was a test for media ethics, political maturity, and basic human responsibility. And once again, large sections of Indian media failed that test completely. On December 14, 2025, a horrific terrorist attack took place near Bondi Beach in Sydney. Innocent civilians lost their lives. Many more were injured. The Jewish community was targeted during a public event, sending shockwaves across Australia and the world. In moments like these, the responsibility of the media is clear. Report verified facts, avoid speculation, and allow investigations to take their course. Instead, within hours of the incident, even before Australian police had finalized their preliminary briefings, sections of Indian media rushed to do what they have repeatedly done in the past. They blamed Pakistan. Television tickers flashed accusations, online portals published sensational headlines, social media accounts amplified the claim that the attackers were Pakistani or linked to Pakistan. This narrative was pushed aggressively, confidently, and without evidence. Pakistan was dragged into the story not because facts pointed in that direction, but because blaming Pakistan has become a default setting for certain media houses. As investigations progressed, the truth emerged clearly and unambiguously. Australian authorities confirmed that the attacker was not Pakistani and had no connection with Pakistan, its government, or any Pakistan-based organization. Further verification, including coordination with Indian law enforcement agencies, established that the individual had Indian roots. These facts were officially communicated. They were not leaks. They were not opinions. They were confirmed findings. At this point, any ethical media ecosystem would have done three things. It would have corrected the false reporting, it would have acknowledged the mistake, and it would have apologized for spreading misinformation that targeted an entire nation and community. None of that happened. Instead, Indian media quietly shifted its tone without taking responsibility. Some outlets stopped mentioning nationality altogether. Others argued that the attacker had lived abroad for decades, as if that somehow justified the original lie. Initial articles falsely labeling the attacker as Pakistani were left online, unchanged and uncorrected. No prime-time apologies were issued. No accountability was taken. The lie was allowed to fade quietly, while the damage remained. One of the most dangerous elements of this misinformation campaign was the spread of fake and manipulated digital content. A deepfake video went viral on Indian social media, falsely showing the Australian Prime Minister announcing the suspension of visa services for Pakistanis. The video looked real, it sounded real, and it was entirely fake. Independent fact-checking organizations later confirmed that the video was digitally manipulated. But for hours, it was shared thousands of times, fueling hatred, fear, and anti-Pakistan sentiment. This is the real danger of modern propaganda. By the time lie is debunked, it has already done its work. Even more alarming was the circulation of photographs of an innocent man, a Pakistani migrant falsely identified as the attacker simply because he shared a similar name. His photo was pulled from social media, paired with false claims, and spread rapidly. He and his family were placed in immediate danger. The man later released a video publicly pleading for the misinformation to stop, clarifying that he had no connection to the incident whatsoever. This was not an accident. This was not careless reporting. This was reckless behavior that put real lives at risk. The refusal of Indian media to acknowledge these errors exposes a deep credibility crisis. Journalism is meant to serve truth, especially during moments of tragedy. Instead, we saw ideology override ethics. We saw nationalism override humanity. We saw how quickly facts are sacrificed when a convenient enemy narrative is available. This is not the first time this has happened. Whenever violence occurs anywhere in the world, Pakistan is often blamed instantly by the same media ecosystem. even before investigations begin. This pattern has been documented repeatedly. The Sydney incident simply exposed it yet again. Now let's go out to the streets and see what people of Pakistan have to say about all of this.
First of all, तो मैं आपको ये बताता चलूँ कि हमारी जो फसाद की जड़ है इस टाइम, अगर आप भी मीडिया से ही ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, मगर वो मीडिया ही है। इंडियन मीडिया रूमर्स फैलाने में फर्स्ट नंबर के ऊपर है, ठीक है। अगर आप वहाँ की पब्लिक को देखें, जिस तरह आप सोशल एक्सपेरिमेंट्स देखें, वीडियोस यूट्यूब के ऊपर देखें, तो वहाँ की पब्लिक भी इस तरह हेट नहीं करती जिस तरह वो पोर्ट्रे करके दिखाया जाता है मीडिया के ऊपर कि इंडिया में ये हो गया और पाकिस्तानी वो है देशभगत और इस तरह की जो भी सारी चीज़ें हैं। तो वो एक प्रॉपर कह लें कि प्रोपेगेंडा होता है कि पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ हेट फैला सकें और वो सारी चीज़ें। मगर शुक्र है अल्लाह का, अल्लाह पाक ने अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अभी तक तो इज़्ज़त ही रखी हुई है पाकिस्तान की कि वो आपको पता है जिस तरह अभी पहले हमारा था, हाँ वो हुआ, उसके बाद फिर वो इंडिया का ऑटोमेटिकली दुबई के अंदर वो जो अबू धाबी में इवेंट था उसके अंदर जहाज प्लेन क्रैश हुआ, तो वो सबको ऑटोमेटिकली नज़र अल्लाह पाक दिखा देता है।
Lot of politician and politics involved in it, but in my opinion it's better to look on the facts and figures and not just kind of condemn a particular religion or particular even a sect or even a country. It's something it should be done after the research or after the things have been managed later on by the countrymen and everything. But I think it's very targeted. It shouldn't be done.
I don't know what happened कि मैंने ये बहुत नोटिस किया कि पहले ऐसे नहीं होता था। पहले बहुत हद तक जो है इंडिया और पाकिस्तान के रिलेशंस अच्छे थे, बट ये जो इंसिडेंट हुआ है ना, और इससे पहले जो इन अप्रैल और मई आई गेस जो एक वॉर चली है, उसके बाद से बहुत नफ़रत हो गई है। उसके बाद से जो है सारे जो उनके जो न्यूज़ चैनल्स हैं उसमें जो हेट है, तो उसके बाद आई गेस कि बहुत ज़्यादा नफ़रत हो गई है।
Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, while Indian media was busy exporting blame outward, another disturbing incident unfolded inside India itself, revealing how normalized discrimination has become. Just a day later, a video from Patna went viral across social media. During an official government ceremony at the Chief Minister's Secretariat, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar was seen forcibly pulling the face veil of a Muslim woman doctor as she approached the stage to receive her appointment letter. The woman, identified as Nusrat Parveen from Unani Medical Stream, stood visibly shocked and uncomfortable as a powerful public official violated her personal and religious space. This was not a private moment. It was a public stage. Cameras were rolling, senior officials were present, and instead of stopping the act, many on stage were seen laughing. One official appeared to tug the chief minister's sleeve, but no one intervened decisively. The moment passed as if such behavior was acceptable. This is what made this incident so disturbing. Not just the act itself, but the comfort with which it was carried out. Amnesty International India strongly condemned the incident, calling it an assault on dignity, autonomy, and religious freedom. They warned that when a chief minister behaves this way, it sends a message to society that policing Muslim women's clothing is acceptable. It legitimizes harassment, it deepens fear, and it normalizes discrimination. Opposition parties called the act shameful and unforgivable. Legal complaints were filed seeking action under laws related to outraging the modesty of a woman and inciting religious sentiments. Human rights leaders from across India, including Kashmir, stated clearly that no constitutional office grants the right to humiliate citizens or target religious identity. Yet the larger question remains unanswered. How did India reach a point where such an act could happen publicly without immediate consequences? The answer lies in a political culture where hostility toward Muslims has been normalized over years. Mob lynchings are often downplayed. Hate speech goes unpunished. Discriminatory policies are justified in the name of nationalism. Muslim women face public scrutiny, harassment, and humiliation with little institutional protection. Human rights data from 2025 paints a bleak picture. Hundreds of hate-related incidents were recorded within a single year. Dozens of Muslim men were killed in mob violence. Properties were demolished under so-called bulldozer justice without due legal process. In Bihar alone, millions of voters were missing from electoral rolls, disproportionately affecting Muslim citizens. When you connect these dots, a clear pattern emerges. Media narratives that demonize Pakistan externally and political actions that marginalize Muslims internally are not isolated developments. They are part of the same ideological framework. One manufactures enemies abroad, the other suppresses minorities at home. The Bondi Beach misinformation campaign and the Bihar whale pulling incident reveal two sides of the same reality. One shows how lies are weaponized internationally. The other shows how discrimination is normalized domestically. Truth eventually surfaced in the Bondi Beach case. Lies collapsed under verified facts, but the damage to trust, to lives, and to social cohesion remains. The real question is not whether facts will emerge. They will do. The real question is whether those who spread lies will ever be held accountable. This is Trending Daily, and I'm Makhdoom Shahabuddin. See you in the next episode.